More money does not mean more hot water. I've seen a $300 electric tankless heater outperform a $700 one on every metric that actually matters. Today we find out which ones earn the price tag, and which ones are just marketing dressed up as engineering. A bad tankless water heater doesn't announce itself on day one. It announces itself mid-December when the shower runs cold 2 minutes in, or on your electricity bill, where the savings you were promised simply never showed up. I've gone through the spec sheets, the install docs, and the real owner feedback on every unit in this lineup, because the gap between what these brands claim and what you actually get is, frankly, embarrassing on some of them. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which units deliver on flow rate and efficiency, which ones are overpriced for what you're getting, and precisely what to buy at each price point. No fluff. Let's get into it. The Electrolux 14 kilowatts leads with two things: smart Wi-Fi with Alexa control and a 3.4 gallons per minute max flow rate. At $289.47, that pitch sounds compelling. So let's stress test both claims. 3.4 gallons per minute is the ceiling, not the guarantee. At 14 kilowatts on 240 volts, real output depends heavily on your incoming water temperature. Cold climates will see that number drop meaningfully. 1 to 2 fixtures is the honest operating range here. Run a shower and a sink simultaneously and you're already pushing the limits. Now the Wi-Fi and Alexa angle. Adjusting water temperature by voice is a feature. Whether it's a feature worth paying for is a different question entirely. With only 21 reviews at a 4.8 rating, there simply isn't enough real-world data to know if the app holds up or the Alexa integration stays reliable over time. The 99.8% thermal efficiency claim and the built-in scale inhibitor are genuinely solid specs on paper. But the install requirements, a dedicated 60 amp breaker, 6 AWG copper wire, 150 amp panel minimum yuan, add cost and complexity that the sticker price doesn't reflect. At $280 9.47, you're paying a smart home premium on thin evidence it's earned. So how does that stack up against the Reem 18 kilowatts at $438? This one makes a specific promise. Up to 4.4 gallons per minute with plus or minus 1 degree accuracy on that external LED display. That's not marketing copy, that's a testable claim. And 4,031 reviews at 4.2 stars is a sample size you actually have to respect. That's not 100 people who got lucky. That's a crowd. The copper immersion heating elements are field serviceable, which matters more than most buyers realize. When a cheap unit fails, it's landfill. When this one fails, it's a repair call. The bottom 3/4-inch NPT connections keep installation straightforward. No weird proprietary fittings. But here's the honest part. 18 kilowatts at 240 volts still demands serious electrical infrastructure. Same panel and wiring discipline as the competition. The sticker price gap is real. Whether the build quality and that review depth justify it over a cheaper 18 kilowatt alternative. That's the actual question. For a primary whole home install in a moderate climate, the math gets interesting. For a single bathroom, it's probably more heater than you need, so that cheaper 18 kilowatt alternative, here it is. The Orbeck at $239.99. Same wattage as the Reem. Same 4.17 gallons per minute ceiling. ETL certified. On paper, those specs are identical. The question is whether the price gap is hiding something. And honestly, with only 147 reviews at a 4.1 rating, there isn't enough real-world data yet to answer that confidently. That's not me dodging. That's the truth. What we do know, it requires two 240-volt 40-amp breakers and 8 AWG wiring, same electrical demand as any serious 18-kilowatt unit. The built-in chip claims to adjust heating power 20,000 times per second, keeping temperature variance within 1 degree Fahrenheit. If that holds up, that's genuinely useful stability. The 2 to 3 fixture rating is honest marketing, not whole house fantasy. But here's the gap. Reem has decades of install data behind it. Orbeck doesn't yet. If you're comfortable being an early adopter on a newer brand to save real money, the case exists. If you need certainty, that price gap might cost you more than it saves. So that brings us to the one that actually has the receipts. Nearly 6,000 reviews. 4.3 stars. That's not a fluke. That's a verdict. The EcoSmart Eco 11 costs $206.76, and for that you get 13 kilowatts, self-modulating technology, and a unit that's 99% thermally efficient. What does self-modulating actually mean for you? It means the heater reads incoming water temperature in real time and only pulls the power it needs. No wasted draw, no cold surprise. Temperature stays within 1 degree of your set point. For a point-of-use heater, a bathroom, a break room sink, a small apartment, that consistency is exactly what you're paying for. Flow rate lands between 1.3 and 3.1 gallons per minute depending on your inlet temperature, so colder climates will feel that ceiling. The unit itself is 90% smaller than a tank heater. Wall-mounted, compact. At $206.76, the value case is hard to argue with. The caveat, this isn't a whole house solution. Know your use case going in. But as a targeted, reliable performer with thousands of buyers backing it up, this one has genuinely earned its ranking. That brings us to the one that actually surprised me. At $59.98, the XWDZS WGS 3000 watts under-sink unit has a 3.6-star rating. On paper, that sounds like a skip. But hold on, because the rating tells you one thing and the use case tells you something completely different. This heater is not trying to supply a shower. It literally says so. In the instructions, showers need at least 1.8 gallons per minute, and this unit tops out around 0.5 gallons per minute. That's the whole game. People who buy this for a shower give it 1 star. People who plug it in under a kitchen or bathroom sink. Point of use exactly as designed. Get instant hot water for under $60. No tank. No waiting. No electrician if your panel can support a dedicated 32 amp breaker. The 98% thermal efficiency claim and the ETL certification are real specs, not marketing noise. It raises water temperature by up to 131 degrees Fahrenheit at 0.5 gallons per minute. For hand washing, a utility sink, or an RV hookup, that math works. Who should skip it? Anyone expecting whole house or shower performance? Who should buy it? Someone solving one specific small footprint problem. At this price, it's hard to argue with the math, so let's actually stack these up, because price brackets tell you more than specs ever will. The budget tier gets you the GPM you need for a single fixture. Skip it for anything bigger, and you'll regret it inside a week. Mid-range is where installation complexity spikes, and warranty language gets vague. Read that fine print. The top tier earns its price through output per dollar, not brand name. Buyer regret in reviews clusters around 2 things: undersized GPM and overestimated DIY install confidence. Don't be that reviewer. The tier list is clear. Spend to your actual use case. So here's the honest summary. There's no single best. There's best for your fixture count, best for your voltage setup, best for your budget. Those are 3 different answers. The tier list gave you the framework. The winner earned it on performance per dollar, not marketing. But if your panel can't support the voltage, that winner is irrelevant to you. Match the product to your actual situation. Links are below. Current prices are there too. Choose right. Links are in the description. No fluff, just current prices. Subscribe if you want the next comparison done the same way. Data, not deals. Thanks for watching.